I just had to go over there and give everybody a hug. As President Scheiberger was going through my bio, I was thinking to myself, these people are gonna think I can't hold a job. Thank you, Mr. President. You've taught me so much about leadership by the way that you care and advocate for your members. And thank you so much for the invitation to be here today. It is so good to be back and to see so many friends and familiar faces. You know, the first time I addressed you, our country was reeling from the aftermath of the September 11th terrorist attack. On that day, the world watched as your brave brothers and sisters ran towards danger, sacrificing themselves to save others in acts of unprecedented heroism and courage. In the aftermath of those attacks, I was so honored to meet and talk with many of your brothers and sisters and their families when I visited New York as Secretary of Labor. Meeting those heroes left a profound and lasting impression on all of us. So in 2003, to honor the sacrifices that firefighters and the police have made on September 11th, 2001, the Department of Labor inducted the first rank-and-file union members ever into the Department of Labor Hall of Fame, the Rescue Workers of September 11th. The headlines on that day have faded, but the memory of those sacrifices will never fade. They will never cease to inspire, and they will never be forgotten. How could they? Every single day, countless families have you to thank for rescuing a loved one, protecting their homes, or saving their lives. How many firefighters and EMS technicians have been mobilized this past year alone to battle the devastating wildfires in Appalachia and also in California? In 2016, more than 5.4 million acres were incinerated by more than 65,000 fires. And when an emergency happens, you answer the call, no matter the time or the day. And I understand that your California affiliate is here as well, and we want to recognize them for their wonderful work. In recognition of that fact, when I was Secretary of Labor, the team worked very closely with all of you and other first responders to ensure that your unique contributions were recognized and protected when the Department of Labor modernized the outdated overtime laws. As President Scheiberger had mentioned, you do not have 9-to-5 jobs, and the revised overtime rules recognize that fact. And you helped us to educate the public about that rule. Now, I've been on the job as Secretary of Transportation for about 29 days. During my confirmation hearing, I made it quite clear that safety will continue to be a top priority at the department. And that's why I chose to give one of my first speeches here at the IAFF, because your members are on the front lines of safety. Not only do you risk your lives every day, but your profession has set a clear example of the value of prevention as the highest form of safety. People are alive today because you championed improved building codes, fire prevention, first aid training, and emergency preparedness. Prevention and preparedness make a huge difference. The Department of Transportation, firefighters, the IAFF already have a history of working together on safety and preparedness issues. And I want to assure you that I look forward to that collaboration continuing. Here are just the few issues that we've collaborated on: shipboard firefighting response, placarding requirements on over-the-road trucks and rail cars, standards for airport firefighting, and safe transportation of hazardous biological, corrosive, and explosive materials. On these and other issues, the IAFF have worked with the department and other stakeholders to protect the public and raise awareness of safety hazards. An especially strong partnership has developed between the IAFF and PHMSA, the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration. Since 1995, over 20 years ago, they have worked together to train pipeline inspectors and promote the safe shipment of hazardous or volatile materials. PHMSA grants have helped the IAFF to build a cadre of more than 300 hazmat safety instructors across the nation. All instructors are active retired firefighters who teach during their off-duty hours. The program covers 50 states and ensures that when a training program is needed, a qualified instructor is available. These instructors, in turn, have passed on their expertise to more than 10,000 trainers in more than 500 classes nationwide. In fact, the director of Director of Operations at the U.S. Department of Transportation, Todd Inman, is one of those trainers. But in this way, federal resources are leveraged to allow the nation's largest and most respected organization representing firefighters to provide hands-on training to first responders. And in 2016, the department has provided $20.4 million in hazardous emergency preparedness grants to states, territories, and Native American tribes that you've all heard about. These grants enhance their ability to respond to hazardous materials, transportation incidents. They're very important. In addition, PHMSA publishes an emergency response guidebook, which I know you all are very familiar with. It gives guidance for those critical first 30 minutes after a hazmat transportation incident.